Hello, and welcome to what we are for now calling UmmWhat. The first movie we've chosen to review is Hot Wheels World Race. This was Hot Wheels' first full-length movie, and it was made to commemorate their 35th anniversary. This is one of my favorite movies as a child, but honestly, it's probably just because of the cars. The creator of this movie said this movie is based off his own Dungeons & Dragons story of relatively the same plot, and it was shot from beginning to end in 5 months. So, knowing that, I suggest we dive a little into the special features, specifically the interactive garage, so we can get a good idea of what we're dealing with.
It's gonna be a long night. Yeah.
Alright, here's like 5 people you need to care about. Vert Wheeler, Kurt Wilde, Banji Castillo, Brian Kadeem, and Taro Catano. Most of the rest of these characters come up once or twice, but you're free to look through the rest of what's basically a dating game. Can I hear more about contestant number 11?
Contestant number 11 is a street racer who loves hip-hop and rap. And when racing, plays it on full volume.
There's a good share of interesting drivers as well, including Sharky, Skeet, and...
His name is not Shrimp Scampi.
So, with that, let's get into the movie. Our story begins with our lead character, Vert Wheeler, a totally radical dude. Not only does he skateboards, he also surfs water. And boy, over the course of this movie, does he let you know.
Bummer.
That's not the only thing that's a bummer.
Try surfing. Water's a lot softer. Later.
That was one of the worst transitions I've ever seen in my entire life.
Well, happens at least another 31 times.
So get ready for that.
We then get taken to a scene where Vert finds out his dad's getting deployed on the day he's supposed to be getting his license.
I'm gonna be the best driver in the world.
Despite not having a driver's license.
So Vert gets his license in a really ugly, low-quality parking lot, and then he skates home to find this weird, ugly truck thing sitting in his driveway, and it looks suspiciously like the back end of a Ford Taurus wagon. The car then opens to where we meet Dr. Tesla.
Greetings. Because of your extraordinary abilities, you have been chosen to take part in the world race. I'm looking for the greatest driver in the world.
Now hold on a minute. Why the hell did Tesla think that someone who literally just got their license a scene ago is one of the best drivers in the world? He's a dumbass.
Good Doc says just to follow the map on the GPS, no questions asked, to the literal middle of nowhere, and everyone's just cool with that. It's not until we get inside this weird cube thingy is the prize money of $5 million even discussed.
What would you do if you had that kind of money?
I do, and I've done
Here's the first time we meet Tarko. Holy crap, is that a rat tail? Screw his name, he's Rat Tail from now on. Rat Tail walks away, revealing the love interest being oh so quaint. We are then shown each team's cars have special abilities, such as studded sand tires,
can operate in the deepest sand.
a useless saw,
Sweet.
volcano tires, and a plow. And also hover abilities, which Vert quickly makes an ass out of himself with.
Now if you noticed, the street breed cars have no special abilities. That's because they don't.
Moving on, we then get a practice race between Rat Tail and Vert, where to the surprise of no insurance company anywhere, he crashes. We then go back to the cube in the middle of nowhere, where Tesla explains Highway 35.
Older than our roads, older than human history. It was built eons ago by technologically advanced beings, perhaps from another world. Beings whom I call the Accelerons.
What? So let me get this straight. Aliens called Accelerons came to Earth before humans and made a racetrack for humans who didn't exist yet.
Yeah, of course.
No more explanation needed.
When you reach 300 miles per hour, the portal between the dimensions will open.
What?
This guy Tesla knows what he's talking about? Or is he just local?
They use the fact that he's Spanish a lot in this movie.
He also sounds like Speedy Gonzales. So, the race starts, which actually looks pretty decent compared to people interacting. They hit their off-brand nitrous, then the portal opens, and poof. We now enter the volcano world, where in less than 2 minutes in the realm, Vert accrues his second accident on his driving record. The drivers then make their way to their first real challenge, a large loop.
Or it would be if you didn't just literally go straight.
Vanjie leaves logic behind and decides to take a stupidly large loop instead of the straight path.
I'm gonna make it.
To no one's surprise, he fails.
I'm gonna make it.
Vert, close behind, gives us this wonderfully applicable quote.
What's the matter, Banju? Didn't you ever grind a half pipe?
Vert then proceeds to treat the loop like a half pipe. He almost makes it around, but then fails and bails out his own bad idea of his hoverjet thingies. He makes it around and takes the jump, which gives us
1. A car clipping through the track.
2. A horrible landing sequence that starts with him missing it completely.
Come on!
And 3. 2 completely different landings.
Yes!
Vert now has a huge lead and loses it all by the start of the next scene. Brian and Vanjie take the lead and give us a questionable line.
Even in a sandstorm in the Sahara, Banji. This is nothing.
Is that racist?
Probably.
But a black car that sure doesn't look like Kurt Wild's car gives us a glance of our villain, who drops a bottle of off-brand nitrous onto the track, but only after pressing the blow-up button on it.
Why does it have a blow-up button?
Shoot the curl!
Rat Tail and Love Interest then make it to the lava, but Rat Tail and his lava car make it through no problem. Love Interest? Well,
He can do what I can.
Rat Tail goes back to save her. Vert keeps racing but decides to go back and help. That is, only after he goes down this huge jump he somehow manages to backtrack.
How did she get out of that car?
This is an interesting problem.
Well, with the help of mystical magical bullshit, she escapes and doesn't die.
We then switch to Kurt, who makes it through the portal first. Brian comes second and sprays Kurt with surprisingly high quality mud.
That looked terrible.
Tesla explains that the drivers will now be on teams and the leaders get to handpick them, i.e., I'm sure we're gonna get some good reasoning from Vert.
How'd she get her car back?
I take it this is one of our new recruits?
Lonnie Tom, meet Alec Wood.
Wheels all waves. I'm the best.
Do people...
People don't talk like that. Also, good choice in driver there, Vert. What we really need is your 16-year-old friend on this death race too.
Who's driving my car?
As it turns out, it's Kurt's brother. Seeing this, Vert makes his second good personnel decision of the day.
Welcome to the Wave Rippers.
The Accelerons built the track we call Highway 35 because they loved racing.
Tesla,
Spirit of competition.
with every detail, I'm just getting more lost, man. Just quit while you're behind.
This ancient inscription describes a wheel of power that will be found at the end of Highway 35. Bring me the wheel of power.
We now get to see the real villain in the story talking to definitely not Kurt Wild, because suddenly, this wheel of power is important.
No one can be trusted with the wheel of power. That's why I'm paying you to drive in this race.
Race number 2 is now getting started. All drivers put on their safety lap belts.
Race number 2 now starts, and we make it to the jungle world, where it doesn't take long for Vert's new hires to start proving themselves. We then get a pretty cool scene between Banji and Kurt, who go through these barrel roll thingies, which actually looks pretty good. But by the end, they crash. And instead of driving away immediately like you would, because after all, you're in a race, they stop to talk things over.
Did that on purpose. Yeah, right. Like I'm trying to come in last.
This is a frustratingly common theme from here on out.
We then go back to Rat Tail and Brian,
I'm gonna pass you. You're going to try.
who end up tying, and to the surprise of no one, Bert comes last. So the worst spy/killer in the world, not Kurt, is talking to Evil Lady again. She's pissed. He sucks at his job. But then this happens.
Eliminate.
You know what I mean.
She's a robot, calling it now.
Lonnie? What are you doing?
Just checking out my car.
You need some help?
Dismiss the steal your girl. Aziz?
Oh, of course, Aziz. Are you sure he wasn't ripped and reskinned right from The Lion King?
Like, this dude literally plays the same part Rafiki plays in The Lion King, except in this case, Simba's a side character.
Anyways, Aziz tells him to go back to his homeland to save his people from Scar. It really doesn't matter.
This scene's really only here to make Vert more likable in the end anyway. Anyway, race starts. They go to the desert world where the dune rats use their spike tires to get out of the sand, and Vert imparts some wisdom well beyond his years.
A dune's nothing but a big wave of sand.
Sand is not a wave.
Brian comes up to a T-Rex and decides Aziz was right by saying,
Greatest danger lies on the road I travel.
Despite just being a T-Rex made of stone.
His homies pass by and go up the T-Rex and navigate about 1,000,000 rocks on the way up, and end up failing to make the jump at the end.
But when Brian goes, there are like 3 rocks. He clips through the wall, uses his nitrous, and gets across no problem.
Brian finds a wheel of power, but he gets attacked by definitely not Kurt Wilde. They end up getting in an actual fight where Brian, with the power of Aziz, Power Rangers knock Kurt in the face.
And to literally no one's surprise, it's actually Kurt.
Brian gets the wheel of power and then jumps through the portal, but to my great dismay, it was just fake. God. After the race, Brian and Vert have a conversation that is basically encompassed by this pun.
It's pretty wild, even for Kurt.
Okay, this has to be the last race.
It has to be over.
The antagonist, who's going to be a robot, sends some robots to go help Kurt Wilde get the Ring of Power first. Kurt and co jumpstart the race early, so everyone just goes anyway. Everyone makes it through the portal, except this guy.
Because he sucks.
The robots blow up some ice, which covers the track. Little Wilde jumps right over it and leaves Rat Tail and Banji to clear it.
That saw is literally going to do nothing.
The robots drop some more mines on the track. Little Wilde runs right into the middle of all of them, destroying the track, which the little saw is going to have a real fun time trying to deal with. Little Wilde ends up getting stuck on the side of the cliff while everyone catches up. Everyone starts to go around, but first this guy drops some knowledge.
Street breed cars are designed for driving in mazes.
What?
How were they designed to drive through mazes? So the guy sends up this weird ball thing into the sky, which figures out the fastest route.
But I feel even a 2-year-old with a crayon writing on a kid's menu could solve it better.
Against the wishes of the robots, Kurt goes back to save his brother, but the robots aren't quite a fan of that, so one of them gets out of their car and walks like something straight out of a horror movie.
The Accelerons built this track for human beings.
Little Wilde saves himself, knocks the robot off the cliff, and leaves. The other robot starts to chase the drivers. Vert fights the robot and causes it to crash in another really ugly explosion. At this point, the race is now just between Kurt and Vert, magically. For some reason, Kurt tries to overtake like this. Obviously, he fails. So Vert stops to talk some shit, and then he just leaves.
Nice shot, slingshot.
The robot that fell off the cliff is magically still alive. So he follows Vert to Hot Wheels City and tries to get the wheel of power before Vert.
Come this far to lose.
Vert gets it first, which then causes the robot to blow up? I don't know. Vert and friends get their $5 million because they totally didn't get last in every single race before the last due to incompetence. But when they learn they can't race on Highway 35 anymore, they break into Tesla's lair. When Vert demands they be able to drive on Highway 35 again, Tesla says what we're all thinking.
On Highway 35 again.
Why? I'm representing for the gangsters all across the world. Still.
Then Vert says one of the dumbest lines I've ever heard.
Place to race, it's like a fire inside you.
Tesla explains that the wheel grants unlimited power and is now powering the entire country while only tapping a fraction of its abilities. It ends up spiking a bit, killing the flying robo buddy, and forces us to hear another killer line from Banji.
Tesla must have forgot to pay the light bill.
I feel like I was sexually harassed by one of those eyebrow wiggles.
Done.
I never should have brought the wheel out of Highway 35.
So Tesla then just decides to bring the wheel back. That's at least $30 million he gives up for basically nothing. Oh, and unlimited clean energy that can save the planet and all that. Never mind.
There was something in the ancient inscriptions. Wisdom is a circle. What you receive, you must give back.
Does it also say plot convenience? I think it says it right there. Antagonist Ladybot shows up to steal the wheel of power.
But with little resistance, all the drivers just come out and ram all the cars out of the way. Vert and Rat Tail cause 2 robots to crash into the evil lady's helicopter, which actually doesn't look too bad.
Evil robot lady ends up surviving the helicopter crash, and so we're given an M. Night Shyamalan style twist.
You don't understand, do you?
Hey, so you know that antagonist lady? It turns out she's a robot.
No, really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just gonna get this part done fast. Everyone goes through the portal, really long, overdrawn out battle scene happens, but all you need to know is this looks kinda cool. Bert dodges lasers from Robo Girl until Kurt takes her out. Bert puts the wheel back, the Robo Lady leaves, city lights up, but we get one more parting gift.
Cool. Cool nothing. It's hot.
In an uncharacteristic bout of empathy, Bert gives Brian his prize money to save his homeland from Scar. Bert teleports back to the branded cube where generally a father is waiting. He isn't mad because what dad would be if their son just got their license, went to the middle of nowhere in a car he acquired, raced on alien roads, got a wheel of power, before going back to turning said wheel of power, fought a Terminator and gave away $5 million and acted like nothing happened. Anyway, they just leave. Dad presses the nitro button and finally, we get the sweet embrace of Smash Mouth.
Oh god, did you just say that?
Thanks for watching. Hopefully this is the first of many videos to come. If you enjoyed this video and like me actually having to edit it, let us know because somehow, this movie got a sequel. Make sure to subscribe because next time, we'll be reviewing Godzilla's Revenge.